Well, this is going to be controversial. England. 55 years of hurt. In some of the last tournaments, we have been utter shit. 2006, lost to the Portuguese on penalties. 2008, didn't even qualify. 2010, robbed by the Germans. 2012, Roy Hodgson had no fucking clue against Italy. 2014, we go out of the group stage to Costa Rica.
Give that fucking ball! Give that fucking ball!
But 2018, we get to the semi-finals. Is this our year? Is this the year where we can bring back glory after one of the worst years in English history due to the coronavirus? Can we restore happiness and let everyone feel the vibes we felt in 2018 with Love Island, Fortnite, the FIFA Ultimate Team World Cup? Here's my England 11, which I think could bring it back home. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and today I'm going to be giving my England Euro 11 prediction and who I think should be playing in the Euros. Now, this is going to be fucking controversial, and I know it's going to be controversial, so please leave down below if you think I'm an utter twat and I know nothing, because I really want to know your opinions as well, because it is going to get a bit saucy. So I just want to take you back to the 2018 World Cup. We got to the semis, but I just want to break down our road to the semi-final and actually think, were we actually that good? Yes, we were still winning, and yes, we got through, but if you think about the opposition we had, were we really a good team that FIFA World Cup? So our group stage, we had Tunisia, Panama and Belgium. Tunisia, we won it in the last minute 2-1. Panama, we beat 6-1. Who the fuck are Panama? Belgium, we lost 1-0 in the group stage. So after them results, we finished second in the group, but to be honest, second was probably better than first. If you look at the brackets and where other teams finished in the group stages, we probably had an easier road to the semi-final. Round of 16, we come up against Colombia, which were a tough and dirty side. Very fucking dirty. We won it on penalties, which was significant for us in a good way, because we've not won a penalty shootout in about 55,000 years. But then it was probably bad because we couldn't put away small teams. Well, they're not small, but I think England should be putting away Colombia in 90 minutes. Anyway, we're through to the quarters. Sick. We're having a good time. We're thinking, one dream, 3 games, we can do this. We come up against Sweden, which again, a decent European side, but nowhere near the top 10 in the world. We beat them 2-0, we steamroll them. I think we score a corner, and I think Jesse Lingard shines again. We get to the semis, and we're against Croatia. Again, they rank quite high in the FIFA estimations, but I think England are better than Croatia by far. Yes, they've got sick players like Luka Modric. Yes, they may have experience with Mandzukic up front, who's about 110 now. And obviously they had Dejan Lovren, the best centre-back in the world. But we lost. We lost 2-1, the dream was over, but then we lose again to Belgium in the 3rd place playoff, so we actually finished 4th in that World Cup. So we finished the campaign losing 3 times, which is probably pretty lucky for someone to reach the semi-finals. So I think England kind of played a 3-5-2. So they had Pickford in goal, Maguire, Stones and Walker at the back, Kieran Trippier and Ashley Young as the wing-backs, Henderson as that deep relying midfielder, and then Dele Alli and Jesse Lingard kind of free roaming in an attacking third in the midfield, with Sterling and Kane up front. But did it work? Harry Kane, he got the golden boot of that World Cup because he deserved it, because he dragged us to that semi-final, I think, to be honest. Sterling, no assists, no goals, once again, not fucking performing for England. He can do it when he's getting a fucking £300 billion team for Man City and one of the best coaches in the world, but when it comes to England, he can't do it. Yes, Jesse Lingard, I think, actually had a really sick tournament, and so did the defence, to be honest. And Pickford had a worldie in the penalty shootout, so it was a good team performance, but Harry Kane really did drag us from the dead. So in my opinion, this is Gareth Southgate's big chance to prove to the nation Gareth Southgate is a technical and good English manager that could take us to success. He's got the talent, but can he use the talent? So I think the formation Southgate usually likes to play now is a 3 at the back, probably a 3-4-3, and that's the formation I'm going to be going. That's his system, that's fair enough. 3-4-3 can be very effective, all depending on the midfield if they can play their roles. And I'm going to be starting with Nick Pope in goal. So in World Cup 2018, Jordan Pickford was our goalie and did pretty well, but for Everton these last couple of years, he's been making error after error. And Nick Pope, he's tall, he's 28, this is time to shine. For Burnley this season, he's played 26 Premier League games and 9 clean sheets, which I think is pretty good for a relegation battle side. Moving to the 3 at the back then, and actually I'm going to be using the same 3 at the back we played in the 2018 World Cup, which was Kyle Walker, Harry Maguire and John Stones. So we're going to be starting off at the right centre back, and I'm going to be playing Kyle Walker. Out of the 3 I picked at the centre back, he's probably the biggest wild card to play. He's fast, he's experienced, experience, he's good at recovering the ball, and that's probably the key thing. Kyle Walker can play a big role in this three. He can be the sweeper kind of thing, and he can be the one. He can be the last ditch tackler. He can be the fastest to make the recoveries, and I think he's going to be really good and also playing out from the back for us. The left centre back, I'm actually going to be playing John Stones. This guy has been transformed, probably by Ruben Diaz this year, but still, he's been one of the best centre backs in the league this year. He's made 16 appearances in Premier League and 12 clean sheets. I know Laporte's been injured, but him and Diaz have got a good little connection now, and I think he can bring that into the England side. So the central centre back, the brick wall, someone that we need reliance on to get that tackling, someone we need to be an aerial threat in the box for attacking and defensively, someone who we can rely on. Who's it going to be? Harry Maguire. I think Harry Maguire has been criticised too much. He may have had a dodgy summer last year twatting a Greek, but I think he is one of the best centre backs in England. He'll be the most physical and the strongest centre back out of the three, relying on Stones and Walker beside him. I think it could be really good, to be honest, and he's a good communicator. He's a Manchester United captain. He's not the Man United captain for no reason. He's a good communicator, and I think he can get the job done and the shift done. Yes, he may be slower, but that's when we rely on Kyle Walker to kind of sweep a yard behind him to recover if we need. So that's the goalie in the threes. That's the main defensive spine. So on the left wing back position, you're probably thinking 3 or 4 options. You're probably thinking in your head Ben Chilwell, Saka, and Luke Shaw. I think most people are going to be picking Ben Chilwell, and I can see why. He's gone to Chelsea from Leicester. He's a decent player, you know, he's average. He gets a couple of goals here and then he gets a couple of assists. He does the job. He's still going to develop, and I think he's going to be special. But I'm going to put Luke Shaw in. I think he's been fucking fantastic this season. These last few games, he's been absolutely sick. In his last 2 games at the time of recording, he's had 2 man-of-the-match performances. He's solid. He's getting assists in. So in November, when the last England squad was, Luke Shaw was nowhere near the pecking order. He's probably about 4th for left back. He was nowhere near on that plane. And I think what also is sick, he's averaging 50 passes a game. And you might be thinking, yeah, maybe 50 passes, nothing special. But to keep the ball and make 50 successful passes every single game at left wing back, or left back even, it is quite hard. You're kind of under pressure from the wingers, the midfielders. You can only play backwards, but Luke Shaw's actually playing attacking while making them passes, which I think is really good. 4 months ago, I think, in my opinion, the right wing back was sorted. I think it had to be Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's a fantastic passer of the ball. He's still about 22 years of age, plenty of experience, a Champions League winner, a Premier League winner. In his Liverpool days, he was the captain for the under-21 and the under-18s team. He has also got a leadership trait to him. But Trent, kind of like in 2018 with Trippier, he can offer that set-piece play to his game. And in the Premier League season this year, he's made 185 ball recoveries, which I think is astonishing for a right wing back. Yes, he's having a really rough patch now at Liverpool, but I think by the end of the season, he'll be finding his form again, and Gareth Southgate needs to start him over Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because Aaron Wan-Bissaka is absolutely shocking attacking. He's a really good defensive player and better at Trent, and I think if we were playing a 4 at the back, you'd be probably looking at Wan-Bissaka more than Trent. Reese James is a new boy on the block. I don't know much about him. He is getting good for Chelsea and getting a starting 11 position, but nowhere near the England Euro starting 11 yet. Now it's time for the 2 centre mids. The midfield in the 3-4-3 is the most vital part of the system. I think one of your centre mids have to be just in front of the defence protecting them. They always need to be in space, having an option for a pass and, you know, playing it off and starting to build a transition of attack up. And for that centre mid who's going to be just protecting the back 3, I'm using Jaden Henderson. He's Liverpool captain, won the Champions League, won the Premier League, he's won everything. He's a leader, and he's a real big leader, and he can really influence his team around him. Many people don't rate him as a player. People always used to stereotype him as the person that would just pass it sideways or backwards, but in these last 2 seasons, when we've come 2nd and 1st, he looks for that over the top now for attacking balls. He's literally not the player he was 2 years ago. Klopp has transformed him into a CDM/centre midfielder that can really start the attacking third. And he's also good at tackling and winning the ball back in the middle of the park and starting it again. Yes, he may not always play it attackingly, but he's the one that can calm a game down. He can play it to the side, play it to the back. He's got a good knowledge of the game and what to do. And I feel it's crucial we have someone with experience in that centre midfield position. You're going to be looking at that team, Spain, France, Italy, Germany, Netherlands, that are going to be literally so dominant in that midfield, and I think Henderson can really control the game for us and start our attacking third off where we're probably the most strongest. My most controversial pick for the next centre mid position is going to be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
You serious?
I'm joking, chill out. I know someone's just disliked the video for that. please undislike the video because I'm only joking. I think there are 4 options for this centre mid position. James Madison, Jack Grealish, Mason Mount and Phil Foden. I think Ward-Prowse and Declan Rice are too like Henderson, and I think we need one of them and like a more of attacking centre mid. So let's narrow it down. Mason Mount is one of the most promising players in the Premier League. He's very versatile. He can play in the wing, he can play as a cam position, he can play just behind the striker, or he can play in the centre midfield, which is really good for England. Need a bit of a versatile player. Jack Grealish last season was playing as a cam and now he's playing as a left wing this season. I think out of the 4, Jack Grealish is currently the best player out of the 4 overall. He's the most experienced. I keep going back to that word experience because when it comes to the Euros, you need a bit of experience in your team. You can't be relying on always the fresh talent. James Madison, I think kind of like Jack Grealish, he can kind of create something out of nothing. He's got that really good ability on the ball. The ball's glued to his boots. Literally, no one can tackle him. He can shoot in the box, he can shoot out the box, he can assist as well. Phil Foden as well. He's also quite versatile. Pep plays him on the wing, the cam, behind the striker, even in centre midfield. So it's a really hard choice because I think this centre mid doesn't have to always stay in a centre mid position. So for that reason, the centre mid I'm going with to partner Henderson is Jack Grealish. That is probably going to be one of the biggest shocks in this video, and I think many people disagree with me, but my reasoning is he's the most experienced. Again, he's the Villa captain, so that's already 3 captains in the team of this side. He, like James Madison, I think probably Jack Grealish can do it a tiny bit better. He can create something out of nothing. He has dragged Villa on his own from relegation battle to top 6 contention this season. Yes, this season has been probably the weirdest season in Premier League history due to the coronavirus and numerous injuries for many teams, but that's not Aston Villa's fault. They've took full advantage and they've had injuries as well. Jack Grealish is currently out as well, like Henderson, but I think he'll be back and fit and ready to play in that starting 11 position. For some reason, he's not had many England call-ups. He's only had 1 England call-up, which I think is an absolute disgrace.
So you can put now, this is supposed to be.
And I think personally, if Jordan Henderson and Jack Grealish are injured, you need to put in Declan Rice and you need to put in James Madison. I think James Madison's a close second. Phil Foden, fantastic versatile player that will come off the bench for England and probably will make an impact. But I think he just needs 1 more year of playing every single week in, week out for Manchester City. Kind of like what Jack Grealish and James Madison have done now. They've been playing for week in, week out for about 2 or 3 years. Phil Foden needs 1 more season and he's going to get it. And I think in the World Cup in maybe 2022, I might be looking at him for my starting 11 choice. So that's the midfield done. And now on to the 3 attackers. You're probably thinking it's pretty straightforward, but I think there's 4 or 5 attackers that deserve a starting spot. And the first player I'm going to pick is going to be the left winger, and that's going to be Raheem the Dream Sterling. Previous tournaments, Raheem Sterling's been the most shittest player in the whole side. 2018 and 2016, absolute write-off for Raheem Sterling. I think in the last year, Raheem Sterling has grown the next level of understanding of the game. I think this season, Raheem Sterling's been one of the most influential people for an attacking third for Manchester City, and I think it's going to be a different tournament for him this year. I think he's actually going to smash it and get a couple of goals and really help us have a chance of winning this Euros. Onto the right wing, and this man's going to add a bit of flair and a bit of skill to the side. His name is Jaden Sancho. I mean, a couple of days ago he scored the winner in the 1-0 victory over Borussia Mönchengladbach in the quarterfinals of the German Cup. At such a young age, Dortmund are relying on him. He came from Manchester City's academy and he went to Dortmund. He's such a confident and brave lad for actually making that move to Germany. Not many people would do that and make it a success, but he has. And he has to be in the England 11, and he's not even playing in the Premier League, which makes such a fantastic change. And obviously, up front, who else but fucking Harry Kane? The lad is one of the best strikers in the world. He's a type of striker like probably Ronaldo, Lewandowski, Suarez. He's up there with one of them, a physical player that can also get the goals in. This season in the Premier League, 24 games, 14 goals and 11 assists, 25 goal contributions in 24 Premier League games. I don't care what anyone says, the Premier League is the hardest league in the world and the fastest league in the world. And Harry Kane, who isn't the fastest player, is adapting to it and actually getting in the goals and also providing for his team. Providing for Heung-min Son, but shut up. This team will win us the Euros, and this team will give us the happy ending the nation deserves. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe. It means so much to the channel if you did that for me. Comment down below if you agree or disagree with me. I want to hear your comments. I want to see what you think. As another football analyst in the comments, I want to see what you think about any of my changes, or tell me your whole team. I'll reply to all the comments and tell me what I think about your choices. And yeah, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.